Hello, welcome to the Arachne Project. My name is Celeste. I'm a creative writing and empowerment coach, and I read tarot, especially for writers. So if you're a writer, come on in, sit down. This tarot reading could very well be for you. This is going to be a collective reading for the spring and new moon energies that we're in right now. There's a lot of heavy, big time reset energy in the collective. This is a time of huge letting go and huge manifestation. So whenever we're calling in something big, we have to do a big let go first. And so that's what this reading is going to be about. So a lot of you are setting your intentions for this year. You may have already done that kind of at the new year, but some people wait until the spring to really start digging into those energies. So some of you are going to be like off like a rocket coming up soon here, and you're really relying on this new moon energy to kind of blast you off there. And so what I want you to know is that before you do that, you have to make a clean sweep. You got to hit reset before you can blast off. So that's what this reading is about. If you're new to tarot, if you're new to my channel, I do read for the collective. That means that this reading may or may not suit you. It may suit you a little, it may suit you a lot. So if you're finding yourself drawn to watch the reading, then I'm thinking there's something in here for you. If you are not, if you were just kind of accidentally watching it, maybe there might still be something. But what I would say is don't try to force it. So don't try to make a message be where it's not. Don't ask yourself, that doesn't feel right. That's not me. It's probably not your reading. So just, move along. But that said, some aspects of the reading may fit while others don't, and that is perfectly okay. It can still be your reading. The first cards I'm going to pull are about the energy that we're letting go, because we have to let go before we can manifest. And sometimes letting go is, sometimes we think we know what we need to let go of, but then when we really stop and listen to our intuition, we realize, oh, it's not that thing that I thought I had to let go of. It's this other thing. So I'm going to pull a few cards on that energy first. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. So some of you are needing to get outside. You're needing not just to get outside and like spend more time outside. You're needing to get outside intentionally with the intention of letting that beauty clear your energy. Some of us really need to connect with the earth on a regular basis. And winter can be a time when we go inward and kind of hibernate and spend time indoors a lot. That's not when you get outside in the winter time, but others of us kind of hunker down indoors. And so this is a sign that it's time to get outside into the natural world and start enjoying the outdoors. We're going to start grounding and connecting with nature. And what better way to do that than to just start taking some walks, or perhaps to go away for the weekend somewhere where you can get outside or see the outside. I'm going to pull a few more, and one or more of these may or may not resonate. I don't know. Hang in there and see what happens. Surrender your need to always be right. Ooh. Do you have a need to always be right? I have that sometimes. And it's not, surrendering your need to be right is not about like admitting, it's not about having to admit that you're wrong, although sometimes you do. It's more about keeping, like, when you know that you're right about something, do you really need to make other people know it? Do you really need to force it upon other people? Do you really need everybody in your world to acknowledge that you're right? So this isn't necessarily about accepting that you're wrong, although it could be that. It can also just be about that relaxing in your inner knowing that you got this, and it's okay to let someone else stumble sometimes. It's okay to let them figure things out for themselves. We don't always have to control everybody around us. So that's a big one. That can create a lot of space in your inner world. So the first card was about like making space in your outer world, and that was about creating space in your inner world. Being a little bit more gentle with others and with yourself. And then the third card that I'm pulling is surrender to your soul's path. So that tells me that you could be experiencing some resistance on getting on your soul's path. Maybe you know that there's something that you should be doing and you're not doing it. Maybe you are trying to, like, you're trying too hard on your soul's path. Like you're on it and you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing. And what you really need to do is relax and trust, as opposed to push, push, push. So that card can kind of go either way. It's a sign that we are not, when we're in alignment, we don't really have to push things. When we're truly in alignment, we don't have to try so hard. Doesn't mean that we're not trying at all. It just means that we don't have to push so hard. All right, so I'm going to pull some more cards now. Now that we know what we're letting go of. I want to pull some messages from your higher self about the surrendering process, because surrender is uncomfortable for a lot of us. We are taught to push, push, push. We are taught to like really dig in when we're right. And we sometimes can get so busy working that we forget to make time to be outside. We forget to make time to just go connect with the trees in our yard or with just a little stand of grass. And some people don't even really have a lot of like natural beauty around them, or they may not think that they do. And so it can be really important for us to sort of create a little haven in our own world, whether that's like buying yourself. I'm being told that somebody needs to get themselves a plant and actually take care of it. And some people are needing to maybe dig out some photographs of a beautiful place that they love, that they can't necessarily go to, but that makes them feel relaxed and calm. We don't always have to necessarily go there. We can just, we can kind of go there in our minds, and our body really doesn't know the difference when we feel into that energy of a memory that is beautiful. So we have the Knight of Wands upside down here. We've got the reverse Knight of Wands. Now, this is, okay, so this is about, so the Knight of Wands is this fella's in a hurry, okay? He's always charging forward. He's always running toward his passion. He's always like, this is passionate, forward charging energy. And so what they're saying is it's not about letting go of your passion. It's not about like dropping it and not doing what lights you up or sets you on fire. This is more about not being in such a hurry. It's more about not feeling like you always have to rush, not feeling like you always have to set the world ablaze. Sometimes it's okay if our inner fire is just for us, if that makes sense. Sometimes it's okay if we sort of stay home with it. The Knight of Wands is that out in the world energy. And so we're being called to come back to our own sacred fire and to tend to that. King of Wands. No accident that we have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands both in reverse, because again, this is a masculine doing energy. This is big, like, this is like that come to daddy creative energy kind of thing. And again, we're not saying to not be a go-getter. This is a king that does not take no for an answer, okay? Like when he wants something, he's getting it. He's going after it. And what the King of Wands reverse here is saying, this can be an imbalanced king, but what I'm getting is not about imbalance so much as letting go of our imbalance. We're letting go of those places where we force ourselves to drive toward goals, to drive toward creating. It's taking that masculine energy into your creativity is what it is. It's saying to let go of that sense of force. Let it happen. Let the passion for what you do carry you. Don't force it. Justice. Ooh. somebody, I'm hearing, has, somebody's very, okay, you're being called to surrender this. Okay, we're being called to let go of this. Someone is really like bean counting here. I'm not sure where. Could be, I'm hearing it's different things for different people. So this could be like professionally, you could be bean counting. So like maybe you're watching, you think something's, you're trying to make sure things are fair somewhere in your life. And when we start bean counting, nothing's fair. So you're being told to trust. Okay. Sometimes surrender is about trust. It's about letting go of our expectation to control justice, to be justice, and to allow justice to be. So we are being called to surrender our need. This is related to this need to be right. Okay. We think that we know what's right. And this card is saying you might know what's right, but we need to surrender our need to always be right. Like you can allow yourself to be right and still not have it all your way. That can really get a lot of us. When we talk about like writer's block, we don't often think about our attitudes. We usually think of, we think of like the person who's just like tearing their hair out, can't write another page, or, they have this resistance to writing because they have like fears and stuff. Well, it can also be about your sense of force and your wanting to have everything your way. I feel like I'm really wrecking somebody's night here. I promise this reading will get nicer. Sometimes the new moon energy is a little bit in your face because we want to like look at it like, we want to look at the manifestation part of it. We want to jump to the asking, the ask, believe, receive. But before we can ask, we gotta let go of whatever it is we're clutching in that hand, because this hand that's gripping so hard doesn't receive. It's not open to receive. So in order to receive, we have to open the hand, thus letting go of whatever is in the hand. It might not leave. You might just soften your grip on it. There's really nothing to be afraid of. Surrender isn't about losing, is what I'm saying. It's about just letting go of some expectation of holding onto. It's a loosening of the grip. And they wanted me to pull one more card, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. And they're very specifically telling me that somebody has to let go of this is a need to control. This is a need to control. But not control in the like mental sense, like we were talking about. This is a need to control resources, a need to control the physical world. So somebody who's listening to this is trying very, very hard to control things in their physical world, like they're trying to get their ducks in a row and their ducks are not cooperating. And you're being told that it's time to, you got to release it in order for that to happen. Like you might be closer to getting this under control than you think you do. Do you know what I mean? Did that make sense? I don't think that made sense. You might be closer to having things under control than they actually, you might think that you're not. I'm just going to stop trying. You know what I mean, right? Stop trying so hard. Okay. All right. I want to grab, it's funny how tongue-tied I got on that. I don't think that's an accident. I think that there's probably some inability to talk about this stuff. Like this is probably not stuff that you have talked about with other people. It's probably the part of you that you keep a little bit under wraps because it makes you feel a little out of control. So now that we have leaned into what we want to let go of, I I want to ask for some guidance, some help with that. Some messages from Spirit to help with the let it go. How can we let go? How can we begin to surrender these things that are hard to let go of? What can help us, Spirit? What do we have at our disposal to help us? Protection. Protection. You're protected. This trust that you are divinely protected. You're protected by your intuition. You are protected by your inner guidance system. Whether you believe that inner guidance system to be ancestors, guides, or just this intuition, this inner sense of a higher self, whatever it is that you believe that is, you are divinely protected by that. And if you trust in this, how can you need to control it? Trusting in your own protection is, if you just kind of breathe into that, it can help you like release a lot of inner tension. I'm protected. You're lucky. Do you believe you're lucky? Because I always believe that I'm really lucky. And while occasionally things happen in my life that I didn't plan for, I usually figure that it was protecting me from something else. So if something that I wanted didn't happen, I figure it just wasn't for me. But I am lucky. I tend to get aligned pretty easily with the things that I really want in life. And I'm not talking about like, the typical things that people might say. I'm talking about like people and just the little things that matter the most to me. Do you believe you're lucky? If you believe that you're lucky, if you have an inner belief in this, this can really change your life. This can get you through some really hard times. And that belief that you're lucky can really protect you. I believe that. Freedom. This is this is a complicated thing for some of us to get. This idea that we are free, that we are sovereign beings, and that no one else the only time that people can control us is when we have given up our control. So there's obviously situations where we can be victimized, but in the grand scheme of things, whether we allow that to run our lives or not, whether we allow that to define us, is ultimately our freedom. So like, I'm not talking about like every minute detail of your life. Of course, things happen to us. But when we think about it in the larger scheme of things, how we frame the things that have happened to us is ultimately our own sense of power. That is the source of our power. How I decide to look at the things that have happened to me, or the things that are happening to me. So when we're talking about this sense of control that this reading has sort of been about, just like the go out in nature. Do you feel like, oh, there's no nature where I can go outside? You have the freedom. You have the freedom to decide, okay, I can't just go out to the lake today or tomorrow. There's no lake anywhere near me where I can go. But what I can do is, I can listen to some waves on the sound machine, or I can look at some pictures of the last trip I took to the lake. Or I can maybe just go outside and put my feet in grass. Like I can ultimately make that connection with the natural world happen in some way. That's my freedom. When I realize that that is my power to be able to do that, that's also my freedom. And that's what this card is saying in this reading. When we let other people control us, we're giving them our power and we're losing our freedom. So when we take back our power, we decide to let go of control. We don't need to control them. Can't control them anyway. So you let go of your need to control and suddenly you're free. That's what freedom is. I'm going to pull one more on this. And then we're going to get into the fun part, the manifestations. Just what everybody likes to do on the new moon. Commitment. This is that inner sense of, because ultimately we're talking about your creativity here, right? We're talking about what can help you get into manifestation mode. If you're a writer, you are probably here thinking about your writing. You're thinking about what would make your writing life better, what would make it move forward. And ultimately what we're talking about here is your commitment. This is something that nobody else can take from you. And again, when we allow others to make us feel or put us in positions, we start giving up our freedom. So your commitment to yourself, your commitment to your craft is yours. It's yours to choose if you choose it back. It's choosing you or you choosing it. Let's see. Let's go into, here's the part everybody loves. I'm going to do some tarot now and talk about manifestations. Because on the new moon, we're setting intentions for what we want to draw in. So when you're hitting reset, what is it that you're wanting to start? This is what we need to stop. What do we want to start? What do we want to call in? Pulling from tarot now. Three of Cups. We're wanting our peeps around us. We're wanting our people, our community. This isn't just any community. This is the community of like minds that we all want. So this, for some people, this could be a writing group, could be partners to help along the way. This could be somebody moving and maybe you want a new editor, or maybe you want to join something where there are going to be other like minds. This can also be a card about celebration, about having people that you can share your successes with. So not just writing group in the sense of writing together, but like some real friends that you can share your successes with. What a nice thing to call in. Five of Wands reverse. This is also it's also about people. What you're wanting here. So this is just a little manifestation comment. This card coming out in the reverse tells me that somebody is wanting to let go of this sense of too many people. So this is an interesting card to come up next to this, and this is why I'm reading it this way. So this is about wanting community in some way, and this is about releasing community. So you're releasing toxic community. You want to release toxic community. You're trying to call in community that isn't toxic. But that's really the wrong way to go about it. This is the right way to go about the same thing. We want to call in what it is we want. We don't want to call in the opposite of what we don't want, because this still resonates as toxic community. It doesn't resonate as supportive. So when we're kind of like focusing on the thing that we don't want when we're manifesting, we're actually manifesting that thing. So if you stay focused on calling in the support, these are supportive individuals. So focus on calling in supportive individuals. And if you find yourself getting sucked off of the path onto calling in people who are not like these, for lack of a better word, jerks that you are letting go of, that will help. You've got to just stay out of that energy. King of Pentacles. You're calling in your money. You're calling in your success. you are calling in abundance for yourself. And this is abundance through hard work and determination and a sense of, for like, I'm just going to say entitlement, but not entitlement in a bad way. Like, this is like somebody who knows that they earned what they have. They know they deserve what they've got. They're sitting in abundance and they know they deserve it. And so that's not the bad kind of entitlement. This is the good kind. This is the kind where you know you worked hard for it. You know you're worth it. You know your own value. And you're just ready for this to come toward you. You're ready for it to become your life. Some of you might also be calling in a partner who represents that energy. That would be a earth sign, an earth sign alignment. Could be just somebody who's super grounded. Could be a wealthy person. Page of Wands, reversed. You are manifesting. This is, again, we're going to turn it right side up. So this is inspiration. This card is basically, it's the card of new ideas, shiny new ideas is what I'm hearing. And so when it's in reverse, what it makes me think of is that you are you're wanting to not get distracted by shiny new ideas. But when you're focusing on not getting distracted by shiny new ideas, what are you still thinking about? Still thinking about shiny new ideas. So what this is taking me back to is the card that's just underneath it on my spread here. And that is this card of commitment. That in order to kind of beat the shiny idea syndrome that we all have as creatives sometimes, where we just like, oh, I got a new idea and I want to go off on that idea before I finish the last one. If you're wanting to finish projects, you need to call on this inner source of commitment that you already have. You don't need to create this. You already have it. You know how to commit. You're just not doing it. And you're not doing it because you're afraid. You're afraid of something, probably. Maybe you're afraid that you can't finish it. Maybe you are afraid of how things are going to change when you do finish it. Maybe you're afraid that it's not going to be good enough, that it's not going to sell, that no one's going to want to read it. There can be a lot of reasons why we're afraid. And that is what affects our ability to commit. That's what has us running off on a new shiny object. Okay? So this is a fear of commitment, and this is commitment. So when we're focusing on, we don't want to focus on calling in, okay, we don't want to manifest getting rid of shiny object syndrome. We want to manifest commitment by becoming commitment. That's how that works. See if we have any more. Any more, Spirit? Any more? Any more things that we're calling in today? Again, you might not be all of these. These can be for different people watching this. Okay. Whoever's watching this, we have a lot of scarcity mentality in this group watching this. And I can tell because of the cards that are coming out when we're talking about manifestation. So we're talking about manifesting the Five of Pentacles. This is literally poverty mindset. And I think what you're wanting is to manifest your way out of this because you're wanting to go toward this King of Pentacles. Again, these are sort of opposite energies. So while we're trying to manifest this abundance, this is what our major vibe is. This is what we're really feeling. Okay. And what we have to remember is that as long as we're feeling this, when we're wanting this, we're still manifesting this. We're still manifesting poverty when we're in poverty mindset, scarcity when we're in scarcity mindset. And What we have to do to get out of that is to get into our deservedness, into our, so I said entitlement. A better word is probably deservedness. You deserve your abundance that you've worked hard for. You deserve all of the good things that are coming to you, even when you can't see them yet. And the way to feel your way through that is to start noticing and being grateful for every little thing that's good. If you believe that you're lucky and you start counting all the little good things that happen to you, start counting the little serendipitous moments in your life that bring you something. If you're like, ooh, I got a great parking spot today. I really liked that. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just kind of celebrate my good parking spot. And you can also just be like, ooh, I just love this thing that happened, or my friend gave me this little picture today and it just made me feel so good. So just start being really grateful for the little things, and then slowly you can like build a little bit of a snowball almost. And then you're of course going to be grateful for the big things. But what we don't want to be doing is focusing on, I don't have those big things yet, so I'm not, this is where my energy really is. So this is a big one. Manifestation. I'm going to pull let's pull some cards to get into the right vibe of manifestation. All right. I'm going to pull a few cards to help us get into the right vibe. Okay. Grounded. Okay, this is that first card that came out about getting outside, getting out into the beauty of the natural world. When we are connected with the beauty of the natural world, we are grounded and we cannot help but feel good. Cannot help but feel in the flow. And this is also about appreciating all of the little things, like I was talking about, the little things that you sometimes forget to feel grateful for, the things that, sometimes the things that make you feel the luckiest are the littlest things, like, a little kid giving you a picture that they colored, or, somebody remembering that it's your special day, or asking how something went that was going on in your life that mattered to you. Signs. Trusting in the signs, okay? Do you believe in synchronicities? So when we are aligned, there are signs that show us that we are getting more aligned. They start just popping up. And sometimes we can be a little bit stubborn about, was that a sign or was it not a sign? And then another one comes and you're like, okay, I guess it was a sign after the second or third one. That happened to me just today, actually. I had like 3 rapid fire signs in a row, and it was all the same sign, but it just popped up in different ways. And I was like, okay, I guess I can trust this. So one way to get into the flow of your manifestation is to start recognizing signs. So again, one thing may or may not be a sign unless you know it is. Something totally serendipitous and unusual might pop through and you just know it is. And other times you're like, is it a sign? If it's a sign, I'm going to need another sign. And that's okay. If you're in the flow, you'll get another sign. Trusting that you're on the right path. These are messages from the divine that you are on the right path. You're in the flow, and you've asked for a sign, so you're going to get one. If you're not in the flow and you ask for a sign, you're not going to get a sign. So this is about being present. This is how we stay in the flow. We stop thinking about the past. Stop digging back there in the past. Stop looking for evidence that your thing is coming, and start looking for signs. Okay? Signs are in the present moment. Signs are not in the past. They're happening right now. We're also not looking off into the future. We're not like waiting. We're not telling ourselves, oh, I can start as soon as XYZ happens. We're living in today. Feet firmly planted in today. That is how to live in the flow. Staying grateful for every little thing. Trusting that we're lucky. And that what's meant for us is coming to us. And counting all the ways that it already has. Awakening. So when all else kind of fails, you can look at life as a choice. You always have a choice in every moment to take the awakening viewpoint or to take the sleeping viewpoint. The sleeping viewpoint is the one that says, it's always been like this, it's always going to be like this. The awakening viewpoint is the one that trusts that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment, and that everything that is aligned for you, everything that feels aligned for you is actually aligned for you and will happen in one way or another. Loss. So we're being called to handle, there's this thing about scarcity throughout the scarcity and loss throughout the reading. And so we're really actually in this moment, in this reset moment that we're in right now, we are being called to examine our relationship with loss. When we release a thing, have we lost it necessarily? Does that mean it's gone just because we let go of our grasp? Or does it mean that all we did was let go of our grasp and now it's free to come or go as it's meant to, as it's supposed to our control? So we're being asked to examine our relationship with loss. What does it truly mean to lose control? What does it truly mean to lose what we wanted, what we thought we wanted? And what does that mean right now in this moment if we choose to be awake as opposed to sleeping? I'm going to pull some cards, a couple of cards for some guidance. I'm going to pull some animal guides, and then I'm going to pull a couple of crystals to help you through this, this new moon. This new moon energy is powerful, okay? If you can really wrestle through this, this concept that I'm talking about here tonight in this reading, if you can get a hold of this thing about control, it's going to change a lot for you. It's going to blast you forward in a way that that like motivation never really can, okay? Motivation and willpower, those things are related to control. And when you can sort of grasp the relationship between surrender and control, that surrendering is the ultimate control. If you surrender the right thing in the moment, it's going to change your relationship with your own sense of freedom and your own sense of abundance and your sense of luckiness and serendipitousness. Blue Heron is coming out. This is about doing what you feel is right. And it's about that judgment card in spite of what is kind of right on paper or what other people might say is right. This is about you trusting and knowing what is right for you in the moment. Letting go of that expectation of judgment from others. When we can let go of it from others, we can let go of it for ourselves. The Roadrunner. This is about keeping your sense of humor about you. Keeps you smiling, keeps you in that lucky mindset. Happy go lucky. Do a walking meditation. There's this thing about walking in this reading also, about putting your feet on the earth, staying grounded, getting out in nature. And that's what this is about doing. It says doing a walking meditation each day for the next week. So take a walk and make that walk your meditation. If you can get outside. And it doesn't matter if you're out in like some beautiful, like rural countryside, or if you're just out on the street in the city that you're in. Just get out for a walk if you can. And if you can't get out for a walk, get on your treadmill and walk. You do what you can, do what is available to you, and enjoy it. All right, that's it from that deck. And I'm going to pull a couple of crystals here to help you with this energy, with this new moon. Like, what have we got here? It's not amethyst. I think it's Oralite 23. That's about your connection to the upper realms, the upper, your crown chakra and your soul star chakra, that connection through those upper 3 chakras. Oh yeah. Okay. And we've got a little celestite, which is also upper chakras. So you are really, this is calling you, there's a huge sense here in this whole reading. There's the connection of getting your feet on the ground. So while we're withdrawing the force, we're getting our feet on the ground in a very natural sense of the word. So we're moving forward in that sense, but we're not driving forward with our action and our momentum. We're not trying to make things happen. We're just walking. We're just moving. We're just getting outside. And we're staying in our bodies. And while we're doing that, we're getting into our trusting of our intuition, of our connection to source, and our ability to trust where we're going and what is coming for us, what's coming forward for us in this life. So whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, this is how you're going to get it, which is interesting because a lot of people think of this reset energy as being a very physical thing, and it can be for some of us, but this is really about not making it about force. So that said, I'm going to let this reading end. And I hope that you got something from it. I hope this helped you with the energies a little bit. And if you liked this reading, I would love it if you would like, share, subscribe, comment, share with a friend. And I will be back with another reading soon. See you later. Bye.